adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth would be employed. Only the people that attend the church here can tell you.
Service in Holy Arosa is in
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. It was a week when Kaduna woke up to the invasion of horses. In its neighborhoods are graceful horses, athletic and with a penchant for war. A war of the horses it was actually. There was a score to settle and a point to be made. Kaduna is the platform for resolution. It was a war of the races. The people of Kaduna can point to Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria at the direction where the whole story of the horses come from. The body mobilized platoon array of horse racers from 11 West African countries to Kaduna and challenged them to put a performance of glitz and art as it continues its passionate revival of the fine art of horse racing. The subcontinent hits the core. They all came. They may not all carry horses to Kaduna, but they carry along their love for the game and their passion and obsessions. Kaduna was actually the final piece for this spectacle. The Kaduna race was indeed the grand finale of an equestrian masterclass that began with Bida in Niger State and went through Adamawa, Gumel, Zaria, and eventually Kaduna. They call it Sahel Savannah Series 2025, and it was presented under Renewed Hope International Racing Derby. It was not like Kaduna, and in fact all the ancient townships covered in this series are new to horse racing. No, they are not. As a testimony to that, they all have quality grounds and other necessary infrastructure. The Echinupe, Yahya Abubakar, in fact shares a story of how the Sardona of Sokoto used to be at horse racing events across the region. However, up until this groundbreaking revival effort, that legacy of the Sardona was a dying art. In modern day world, horse racing was not only fun, it is also an international business. Of course, it remains a platform to spread love, generate employment, and unite the people. Yet, it is transforming into a thoroughly organized endeavor that captures a wide spectrum of professionals. It is run with knowledge, money, and art.
Horse racing is actually a game of the affluence, basically, but it is done for the less privileged people, because if you look at entirely around, what you see is common people. Common people enjoy, watching, horse racing, but because of lack of proper publicity, people don't know much about horse racing. People know about polo, but horse racing is far more, exciting, more nice than polo.
The clearest expression yet of the revival of horse racing in Nigeria is what the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria is doing differently now. Again, the Kaduna Horse Wars was such a defining moment of that effort. It was 3 days of fierce competition. Thousands of captured souls who thronged Murtala Muhammad Square to be witnesses to it have never seen anything like it. As the racers ran the expanse of Sunday tracks, you don't find a single spectator calm enough to remain on his seat. All seem to be on edge. I've been following the horse racing revival effort for some time, and I can speak with authority the immense benefit that awaits Nigeria if it can lend greater attention and resources to it. It will repay exponentially and with the smiles on his face. It is just apt that the chairman of the National Sports Commission of Nigeria, Shehu Dikko, was at the Kaduna Showbiz and was sold on the magnificence of the festival.
I can promise you the federal government will do a lot. We'll collaborate with the federation to see how we can upscale this sports to make it much better and much better and much better. We have seen the request of the federation to be recognized formally by the federal government as a federation, and definitely we are going to engage His Royal Highness, the Emir of Bidda, the president and the patron of the federation to see the best that we can do to make this happen as quickly as possible.
In a multitasking and extensive sport like horse racing, its revival cannot be the handwork of one man alone. But the Esunupi, Yahya Abubakar, has been the shining light of this revival. He is the life president of the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria. But within that duty is deep-rooted passion for the sport. He has been able to build an extensive level of contacts and relationships that are serving the sport well and advancing it, and selling it to the subcontinent. He is never far away from any racing event anywhere in Nigeria. And in fact, Nupi artists provide the soundtrack in any racing competition around the country and beyond. And man, those people know how to sing and they know how to dance. They are always a package in the competition.
Thank you very much.
The real deal is in the horses. I stopped to watch them in a carousel ahead of impending derby. They are not your everyday kind of horses, but they are pleasant to watch. They are sworn horses who dash with the power and speed. Well, as this horse racing is going on, there is a bet in the house. Hajja Tamsiya. Wherever there is horse racing in this country, Hajja Tamsiya makes sure that she's there, present, lending her expertise, and of course, lending her view and offering her opinions on how best to improve the stock, all the livestock that we have running this racing. Tamsiya, and I'm telling you, you're looking very good for the racing.
Thank you.
you look like a jockey yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Well, we are talking about this race. Are the horses we are using for this race the correct ones for this kind of race we are doing?
So to begin with, when it comes to horse racing, we have different categories.
Okay.
Right, in terms of age, in terms of breed, because you need to be able to put horses of the same size in the same category. That's only when you can have a fair ground.
Okay.
So we have the Arewa group, we have the Talon, we have the Sudanese. So we have the right horses based on the temperament and where we are. So the Arewa horses are our local horses here in Nigeria. Right, they are our local horses, and then we have the Talons, which are a mix of, I think, Cameroon and Niger, and then we have the Sudanese horses. And then recently now, because there is some intentionality around horse breeding in Nigeria, which is welcome and much needed, let me say, practice, because we invest so much in importing horses. And when these horses come, it's difficult for them to thrive. because the environment is different. You have challenges with diseases and stuff. So recently we have breeders coming up. So we have a new group of horses that they call Niger breed.
When the racing is up to speed, these horses stand up to answer their names. I'm particularly enamored by their appellations. They connote bravery, athleticism, endurance, competitiveness, character, and nobility. Not even Homer can capture the depths of their characterization. When you hear names like Lailatul Qadri or the Night of State, Diamond, Dan Talaka, literally the son of the poor, Godiya ga Allah, glory to God, Kibiya, Arrow, Bullet, or Kadan da Magani, when quality matters, then you know you are up against horses that are unique. These horses are battle-hardened. Many of them, when they pick up speed, they don't need a photo finish camera. It is absolutely not necessary.
We have invested so much in breeding horses that will have an equivalent strength of Argentine horses, which are the fastest horses in Africa. And those horses are already on track. You know, they have started racing, and the difference is very clear, it's very eminent. So I can also tell you this for free. You can take it to the bank and take your cash. That in the next few years, maybe in about 5 years, all polo players and horse racers will not go to Argentina to spend billions of naira to buy horses. You will have them here with equal strength with what you can get in Argentina.
One of the virtues of this horse racing is that it is witnessing the emergence of new generation of horse breeders. Now that is not an easy terrain because it is a whole value chain of owning horses, breeding and cross-breeding, veterinary care, dietary attention and more. Actually, there is a good news around breeding of horses for racing purposes in Nigeria and more.
Because in the entire, racing industry, we have over 100 jockeys. So this is a multiplier effect. If you multiply it by the number of their family members, so it's entirely a revenue generating thing. So horse racing is very wide. And then as you can see, we are racing across the African Sahara, which is, almost about 11 countries within Africa. Now we have spectators, horse owners, jockeys coming from all these African countries, to come and converge in Kaduna to witness the closure of the, 2025, session, of the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria. So by the day, we are getting recognition, and more people are gaining interest. I can tell you for free, between the last race we did in Zaria and this race that we're doing here in Kaduna, we've gotten additional owners, up to about 5 additional owners.
People,
so this is
horse racing owners.
People buying horses to become owners.
Actually, Mustafa Abubakar Bida is one disciple of Etsunupe who does most of the field work that has given this Renaissance color, vibe and impetus. See him here, taken over by excitement as the horses burn the tracks in one of the heats in Kaduna. He is actually the national coordinator of the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria and shared with the Etsu that undying love for horse racing. And true to character, he owned the SD stable in Bida, and his horses have traveled the country and beyond to engage on racing wars. Essentially, however, Mustafa Abubakar Bida is the jockey spearheading renewed hope in sports of horse racing in Nigeria. Whenever horse racing competition is going in Nigeria, under the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria, there are always some standout individuals and organizations. Their commitment to the Renaissance is uncommon. The SD stable in Bida and the Speedy stable in Bauchi especially. Horses from these stables have engaged one another over long periods in healthy competitions. There are also individual horse owners from all of North that are never behind and fiercely competitive. Owners apart, the real icons of the games, the horses apart, are the jockeys. They are the drivers of the horses, the skilled personnel who combine adventure, clinical horsemanship, and vision to navigate the racing tracks with the speed and promise until they get to the gate of heaven. I have the privilege of talking to one of the taskmasters, the indomitable Kanta. He races for the Swedish stable in Bauchi and had already won 3 cars.
I am from Nigeria Republic, but my master is from Bauchi State. There was a time he asked me to bring horse from Nigeria to his house in Bauchi. The horse name is Speedy. We lost it to road accident last year. But Speedy was a horse I won over 10 vehicles with. It is such a horse that delivers what it mattered most. To us personally, racing is our life. Everything we acquire is through it. Where it is stopped, we could only.
If there is anything this horse racing is doing to older generations, it is bringing back memories, sweet memories of their childhood. In the Kaduna finale, the Emir of Zazzau in particular dig into his memory and how he actually welcomed this revival effort.
This game has done something terrific to us. That is uniting all our people together. You can see a significant number of the, spectators here are common people, not the high and mighty in the society, which is remarkable. Everybody is happy, and we all, had fun. For me personally, I think this is something that has taken me back 50 years now to remember my youth when I was just a child of about 9 years old, I think. I was always here. My house is just outside the gate here.
The Kaduna finale actually saw presences of galaxies of Nigerian traditional rulers who are moved by nostalgia and love for the sport. In fact, one of the emirs, Mai Machinama of Machina, Yobe State, Bashir al-Bashir Bukar, holds a competitive horse racing every year at the annual Machina Emirate Festival, which I attend every year. Actually, these emirs were in Kaduna race with a mission. They want their emirates to be part of the Horse Racing Federation schedule next year and always. Across the 3-day event, there were various cups to be won, with every winner are prizes in cars and prize money for the first, second, and third. The competition is conducted through a division system. The beauty of the Kaduna race is the fact that the racing ground is in good condition. It provides opportunity for clear vision, safety of the horses and spectators. Notable camps competed for are Emir of the Cup and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Cup. Closer home, a professional colleague of NTA, who is now a chieftain of the Arab Emirate, had a cough on his father's name, and he was on hand to give it out to the winner.
Actually, our late father, late Tundazo Alaji Ismail Ahmed, has been part and parcel of this sport. Yes, he has been there, he has been a feeler. That is why when this revival was done, they feel it, they deem it right to feel a cough in favor of him. That is why we are here to prevent the cough on behalf of the family of the latest Ismail Ahmed.
Okay, and that's a great thing to do.
Okay, yes,
So, but you are happy with what you are
very,
saying?
very happy.
The race on the final day was like a day of reckoning for the racers. The square was full to capacity. The expectations were high. So are the stakes. Yes, cars are embodied in the prizes, but it's also about delivering at the highest level. All eyes were on the racers, and true to God, they did not disappoint.
Are you happy with what you are seeing?
Extremely happy. I mean, going from where we started from and where we are today is an amazing success. Despite all the challenges, and we've been able to overcome them.
Did you see the passion here today, the interest?
It's awesome, and this is a revival of the times of Sadana Ahmadu Bello. So we are bringing that glory back to the northern region.
Obviously.
Yes.
What do you think we need to do now to enhance it? Now that
We
interest
still need more publicity and also encourage the young ones, who wants to be jokey, and also, I mean, it's a tradition, that needs to be encouraged. We don't have to wait for Awandoki during the Salah period and whatever. But the sport is amazing.
This support is for affluent. But we want to see more people, because whenever you come, you always see SD stable, you always see the speed is stable, you don't see much.
Yeah, as I can tell you, here today we have two to three new people, even from Kwara State, from Ilori Emirates, coming here to also join. So it's
One of the takeaways from this race is the level of attendance and interest shown by the people. It is beautiful. We ran into individuals who belong to stables and are thinking big ahead of the next competition already.
But we hope to be participating fully. But we have a horse coming up next, Gimbia, that will be racing, and we hope she does a great job. I think what we need to do to elevate it is to have a lot of young people involved in this. We need to spread the awareness, social media, printing, and Horse Racing Federation is doing a great job as it is, spreading the word. So I believe it's up to the youth. We need to go to the schools. We need to have programs. We certainly are going to do what we can at Kwara Horse Club to spread the awareness as well into Kwara States and anywhere we can, because it's definitely something that we feel is going to grow even bigger and bigger. Next year will be even bigger than this.
Gimbia, the mayor from Kwara, put a good showing at the race and received standing applause.
Well, as this year's competition winds up, one thing is sure, thousands of people will go back home saying that we have never known how beautiful and exciting horse racing is. And I'm sure they will prepare very well for it next year. Now, as part of that celebration, there is a parade that is going to take place now of all the riders, and it is led by a police band.
The situation here is actually a parade for a generation of ponies, all not beyond 2 years, all bred in Nigeria, and are sure to take over from the species we now have. They may look young to you, but underestimate them at your peril. They move like they are launched from a rocket. As the dust from the racing track is dissipating and dusk is setting in, there are prizes to be given. Various horses receive their gallants. As the curtain is drawing on the Sahel Savannah Series 2025, there are certainly lessons to be taken home to guide what will happen next year.
I think I'm going back home to be able to spread the word, to show all the different levels of horses, to be able to let people know that we still have a long ways to go, but we are willing to put in the work, to let them see the beautiful culture and all the Emirates and royalty that's here.
All in all, it is a most pleasant experience in Kaduna, and obviously, one is looking forward to what happens next year.